Chris Sewall here, baseball card collector, investor, dealer, in that order. Welcome everyone. I wanted to discuss share some of my stories about my trip to the National this year. I was there all 5 days, Wednesday through Sunday. I'll give a quick recap here. It was an absolute blast as always. Did a ton of buying, a ton of selling. I thought it was very, very crowded early on. Like Thursday and Friday were just jam-packed. And then I thought the weekend was actually not very crowded. I'm not sure why that would be, but yeah, that was my experience. Saturday was, not particularly crowded. And Sunday was very, very, not a lot of people there on Sunday. But Thursday and Friday were really, really killer days, sort of on par with, some of the most crowded nationals that I've been to. Definitely there were some problems. The Wi-Fi was not great throughout. There were really, really long lines for the bathroom. Really, really long lines to get in. The parking situation wasn't great, but overall, I thought the national was this year was a big hit and very, very well done. Certainly very fun, at least from where I sit. I want to real quickly say thank you to everyone who came up and said hello. I always enjoy that, and I really appreciate it. I was fairly tired throughout certain parts of the show, certainly later in the show, Saturday and Sunday especially, because didn't get a lot of sleep during the 5 days, nor eat very well, so wasn't feeling great at times. So if I was ever sort of short with anybody when you came up and said hello, my apologies. But again, thank you everyone for all the support there. But for this video, just wanted to share 4 stories, personal stories that I experienced during the National. They're pretty short, so we're going to put them all here in this video. So throughout the week, there were these VIP events which happened after the show each day, where all the big names throughout the hobby would get together and schmooze. And I mean, you had to be a serious name to get invited to one of these things. Like you had to have a lot of clout and a lot of power in the hobby. Obviously, I didn't get invited to any of those, but I did go to the YouTube gathering, which Mike Moynihan put together on Thursday night. It was basically a bunch of YouTubers got together, and viewers were all invited, so everyone could come out and meet each other and chat cards for a while. There was pizza and drinks and things like that. Here's a photo from the event. It was super fun, and if you want to play Where's Waldo with me, there I am in the back, towering over, well, I guess not really towering over anybody, but yeah, sticking out a little bit in the back there. As we were walking into the event, I went through with a few friends, including the snowman. Someone came up to me and said, "Hey, I have a collection I'd like to sell you. I couldn't find you at the show today, and I'm leaving, tomorrow morning. So, is there any way we could do a deal here, right here and now?" The gentleman's name was Todd. He's in the middle of the photo here, and we were like, "Sure, let's do it." Except there was nowhere to go. Like we couldn't go into the event. It was way too crowded, and there was nowhere outside to do anything. So we decided to look through the cards in the backseat of Todd's car. Now Todd had a very, very small car, and I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm 6'5". Jeremy's not the smallest human being either. So we were crunched into the back seat of the car, bent over in all sorts of various ways, looking at cards. And that was a really nice collection. He had some nice 50s and 60s stuff. He even had some old Judge cards from the 1800s. Really, really nice collection overall. And we did end up buying it. Spent about $3,000. I think it was $3,000 with them. But yeah, very nice collection. A fun moment, but just sort of funny that we, having been at a card show, we ended up doing a deal in a parking lot, and a car that was not made for such a thing. But yeah, thank you, Todd, for coming up. That was a worthwhile endeavor. So one of the nights I hung out with the snowman, Jeremy Lee of Sports Cards Live, and James of Elite Hunters. And at the end of the night, we went back to their hotel and went into the lobby and just sort of got a drink down at the lobby. And we're chatting for a little bit. And as we were chatting, somebody walked through the lobby, and Jeremy Lee said, "Hey, come on over here." Obviously, somebody knew. And as the guy was walking over, he had a few friends with him. Jeremy turns to me and he says, "This guy has the best Michael Jordan collection in the world." And, I've heard, you hear sort of things like this all the time in the sports card world. Oh, he has the best whatever collection of this in the world. But the guy coming over had a Zion case with him, and, is pleasantries. "Hey, how you doing?" And then he started showing us some of the cards, and yeah, I totally believe it. It may very well be the best Michael Jordan collection in the world. The guy is the owner of Northeast Sports Cards, and he showed us maybe 30 cards out of the Zion case, which held a few hundred. And those 30 cards had a market value of many, many millions of dollars. There was an 86 Fleer rookie PSA 10, which was one of the least interesting cards of the 30 that he showed us. Here's Jeremy Lee holding up a few patch autographs. Here's James holding up a few super rare PSA 10 90s inserts. Here's the snowman holding up a couple other super rare inserts. I think one of them is serial numbered out of 4. And anyway, I'm going to sort of just leave it at that, because I'm going to do an entire High Rollers video on this collection, or at least the 30-ish or so cards that he showed us. We'll probably post that a week from today. All right, next story is just a really quick, funny one. I was at the booth and dealing with a customer, and another customer walked up and he overheard us talking, and he turned to me and he said, "Hey, are you a stripper?" And I didn't know how to, like, I couldn't tell, was he making a joke, or did he misspeak, or did I mishear him, or does he really think I'm a stripper somehow? And I couldn't process, the possibilities quick enough, and I just sort of started stumbling my words, and I was like, do you, what do you kind of like that, and then finally after like 10 seconds of that, I got out, did you say stripper? And he's like, no, 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 are you a streamer? And I was like, oh yeah, no, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I thought you said stripper, and he's like, oh no, I said streamer. And then we both had a good laugh about it. That was the whole story. I think I just heard him wrong, so it's sort of loud in there at the moment. And last short story to share here is sort of a serious one. Longtime viewer of the channel named Tom. I've known him for many years at this point. We've spoken via email and in the comments and things, but I got to meet him for the first time this national, and he came up and he brought me a gift. Not just me, actually, I was sitting at the table with Mike Moynihan at the time. The snowman was there as well, and he came up to all three of us, and he knew all three of us, and he said he had a gift for all three of us, and he handed us each a 1991 Topps baseball pack. The pack's worth like 50 cents, maybe a dollar, but it came with a story. And Tom said that he had gone to somebody's home to purchase their collection, and during that process, the seller had given Tom a 1991 Topps baseball wax box, which had 36 packs in it. And the person had bought this for his son all the way back in 1991, as his son was going off to Iraq to fight in the first Gulf War, but his son never came home. So he had kept this box the entire time, 30 plus years at this point. Finally decided to give it away to Tom, and Tom decided to take it to the National and pass out individual packs to various different people and tell them the story. And yeah, he gave one to me, gave one to Mike, and gave one to Jeremy. And yeah, this is obviously something I will hold on to and cherish that memory. But that's it for four short stories, four short personal stories of my experience at the National this year. I would love to hear how everyone else's experience was. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it, or whatever? And yeah, like I mentioned, I'll be doing a high rollers video based on that Michael Jordan collection I saw. I'll post that next Wednesday. And yeah, until next time, have a great rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.